How you doing? My name is Dr. Rodriguez. I'm a family practice doctor in Dallas. I've been here for about 20 years, and I've discovered something that will explain a lot of why people are living in chronic pain, miserable in chronic pain, why there are multiple surgical treatment failures, back surgeries, hip surgeries, neck surgeries, and the opioid crisis. So all of those are caused by a certain set of events that happened back in the 1930s. Dr. Sabatier sabotaged. It's amazing his name is Sabatier. But he sabotaged humanity. He and his orthopedic and surgical colleagues led a sinister, subversive mission to push surgery and operations ahead of everything. So today, physicians only do treatments. So today, physicians only use medications or operations and medications. And they left out a significant treatment, which is treatments for muscles. You treat your muscles and everything becomes harmonious. You put the truth back in where it's supposed to be, and then everything harmonizes. Everything becomes harmonious, just like it's supposed to be. So in 1940, they did the first hip replacement for In 1940, they did the first hip replacement for pain. It was astounding that people could actually remove natural and replace it with man-made. So natural bone, they took it out and replaced it with a modified auto part, and they glued it in. The patient didn't die, so that was a success. And that ushered in utter chaos because people cannot fix the human body. It's impossible. Miraculous heals miraculous. People have to fix the contraptions we fix. Miraculous can't fix or repair what we create, and we can't repair what miraculous creates. So there's a thin line there. That thin line is the line between love and hate, honor and dishonor. So in 1997, I took an acupuncture course. And so 20 years from now, I consider myself an acupuncture master. Fits and starts, stumbling and bumbling. I finally figured it out. Well, I didn't figure it out. Someone else had, a group of doctors had figured it out in the 80s, and they published it. The major publication is Travell Simon's, their 2 volumes. It contains 98% of what you need to know. Edward Racklin contains another 1%. C. Chang Gun contains another 1%. Let's go back. So there's 3. And then there is gotta sneeze. And then there is Edward Racklin. Edward Racklin is the most complete of them all. He mentions all of those authors in his reference and all the protocols. But when you put them all together, you have a complete therapy. If you take acupuncture out of it, it's incomplete. If you take Travell Simon's out of it, it's incomplete. If you take Racklin out of it, it's incomplete. Or Gun, or wellness, or the whole concept of holistics, then it's incomplete. But when you put them all together, it works perfectly. So physicians are paid to do wrong. So up until about 2005, 6, 7, I was actually omitting a lot of therapy. When you don't give someone who needs therapy, if you don't give them anything, that's felony omission. That's a criminal act. If you give them the wrong treatments, those are felonious acts. Assault with deadly chemicals, assault with deadly weapons, attempted manslaughter. So without muscles, everything is science fiction, and doctors and the healthcare system are thieves. They have created crimes against humanity. So 25% of what physicians do is valid. Endocrine, infectious diseases, some mental health, some cancers. That's it. The other medicines are basically soothing agents, comforting agents. They contain no ability to fully benefit the primary disease. So those are placebos. So when you right is always right and it's always correct, helpful, and good, it will get you back to battle ready. And that should be as close to normal as humanly possible. A football player can't go in until he's restored. But when he's restored, he goes back in. He's technically normal. He's battle ready. So when you come in with a problem, everyone must receive one. And enough one to get them battle ready. All personal, mind, body, spirit, muscle, psyche, emotional, social situation. And most important is muscles. If you don't touch the muscles, that's fraud. And because all healing occurs in the muscles. 90, let's say 70% occurs in the muscles. You need your mind settled. You need your emotions settled. You need your social and your work and family environment settled. And then you have a complete healing. You can maximize, optimize healing. But if you just do muscles, that's incomplete. If you just do acupuncture, that's incomplete. If you just do massage, that's incomplete. So once you do the whole recipe, it's complete. That's honorable. Medicines are only additional. They benefit as a seasoning into the one. The only time you use surgery is to remove rotten. It's a subtraction. But you can't use subtraction here. You can't use chemicals only here. If you just use medicines, chemicals, that's fraud. That's assault with deadly chemicals. If you just use surgery, that's assault with deadly weapons. So when the patient comes in, the patient is primary. Everything is 100% patient. And then you decide if you need 2, add it in. You decide if you need to remove something, 3. And then you have a whole concept. The key is that 70% muscles, a 10% mind, 10% social, 10% spiritual. So all of that is in here. And you give the person enough, and then they're ready to work. The problem is muscle tissues collect traumas over your lifetime. And as the muscle density increases, so does the amount of time it takes to decrease it. And you can't, and Mother Nature does that. So you can't force Mother Nature to go any faster than she can go. So if someone has been tormented for 10 years in pain, they're automatically in stage 5. So there's 5 stages. And then there's this, what I call end stage. end stage, the telomeres of the individual, they devolve, they get fuzzy, they get raggedy on the ends. And at that stage, the tissues are no longer human. They are corrupted. So any tissues in your body that are not human are cancer cells. So end-stage muscle failure is a pseudo-cancer, 100% treatable given the right circumstances. But if you give someone who is end-stage an opioid or anything other than complete, you have just betrayed them. And the opioids will distort everything and make it much more complex. So if you give a person in stage 3, 4, 5 an opioid, you have imprisoned them for their entire life on the opioid. They won't be able to get off, not by themselves. It's impossible. It's sort of like it's impossible for you to, I don't know, jump off a 5-story building and survive. It's impossible. It's impossible for 80% of people to get themselves off of the opioids by themselves. They need a team of helpers. Oh, by the way, so these are all team members. So you give the person the right teams, and you succeed all the time. So this is absolute miraculous. This is absolute bullshit. So today, doctors have a legal. It's criminal legal to lie, cheat, steal, and deceive you. Remove your body parts and throw the carcass out to rot. That's amazing. 2018, we have a what I call a whitewashed genocide, human sacrificing, and that's frightening. And nobody cares. I've given this information to hundreds of people, and it's hard for them to realize that the earth is really round, but they're paid to believe and accept that it's flat. You can't change their minds until the church or until some authority changes their mind. But I have some handouts. If you do these for yourself, you will mitigate the needs for chemicals and surgery. So you optimize your healing, and you never have to see a doctor unless you're on your deathbed. And then they can save your life from imminent death, and that's it. Get out of there, because then they'll take your life. I have more to say, but this is basically it. 1, 2, 3. Honorable. If you make a mistake in 1, 2, 3, it's insignificant. If you make a mistake over here, you're dead. Insignificant mistakes, 1 degree off, you're dead. You can be, I make mistakes all the time. Everybody makes mistakes. But if you're on the right path, a mistake is just, I made a mistake. You get back on path and you're fine. So there's no legal ramifications for this. There's billions of legal ramifications for this. Honorable, dishonorable. That's amazing. And it's as simple as that. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. All the answers are there. You can pull off my sheets and read my sheets, but you have to read the sheets as 1, 2, 3. And you have to throw everything that any physician has ever told you. You have to reserve it because it's contaminated. So you start with 1, 2, 3, and everything makes sense. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.